Welcome back. You know, we're on day 43 right now, and that's 6 weeks into this program. And I want to do a checkpoint before we get right on to the next letter of our process, which is the C. And I like to do a little checkpoint. So we're going to do a quick checkpoint video. Let's talk about where you're at today. And I'm going to recap a little bit of where we started and where have you come right now to this point. And this could be different for everybody. It just depends on what you've got going on in your life at this point. Are you all in at this point? These are some important factors to the recovery process and to your recovery process. This is an individual plan, so everybody could be in a different place, and that's okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is right where we started, right? We created a 90-day future self blueprint. And I got to ask you, are you looking at this blueprint every day? Is it posted somewhere? Do you have it hanging in your room, in your office, on your fridge, in your mirror? Are you looking at your blueprint every day? And do you believe it? Do you believe that you are becoming your 90-day future self? You got to believe it. You've got to believe in yourself. And I know it's hard coming right out of the gate, right out of addiction. I don't know. Everybody's at a different place when they come in and they start the process. And it's okay. The first step's the most important one. So, that's the question. Do you believe it? And it's either a yes or a no. And if you don't believe it, why don't you believe it? Why don't you believe in yourself at this point? I would want to know. Maybe for some of you, it's not going as smooth as you'd like, and that's fine. I think it's normal as you go through this process. But I would ask myself some questions, some tough questions, heart questions. Am I in this because I'm ready to have a new life? I'm ready to have a good life. I'm ready maybe to have the life that I had before my addiction, when things were really good. My relationships were good. My career was good. All those things. So everybody's at a different place, but you just got to be honest with yourself first and foremost. So I would be looking at that blueprint. You designed it. It's your life. It's your future self. So think about that as we move forward. And secondly, let's talk about the first three letters. You had the P for paths, two paths. We know there's a good path and we know there's a bad path. Have you fully understood, and are you embracing the fact and accepting responsibility for yourself being on the wrong path? If that's still an issue within inside of you, then maybe you're not ready. You're not all in if you're at 6 weeks into this program and you are denying the fact that maybe you're on the wrong path and it's not even your fault. So, do you understand the two paths? It sounds simple, and I'm sure it is for some of you, but some people are still in denial. And if you are, it's what do I learn from this? Well, what do I learn from being in denial 6 weeks into the program? I would ask myself, am I all in? Because at 6 weeks, if you're still in denial, you're not all in. And you've got to be all in if you want to have the new life. Secondly, we have the R for repentance, the second step of the process. Have you taken any steps? Have you repented? Have you turned from your ways? Have you asked people for forgiveness, the people you've hurt along this way, the people that are probably closest to you? That's typically who we hurt the most. Have you been able to talk to these people? And maybe not everybody, but people you have to face and get right with them. You should have by now talked to some people. Where are you at with that? And then you have the openly declare. You openly declared that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and He is the King in your life. Best time, it's my favorite step. It's the best one ever. It's the biggest step you'll make in your entire life. So that was a couple weeks ago. Has anything changed in your life since you took that step? Maybe it was a recommitment for you, or it was the very first time. And to those of you out there who are not walking with Christ and didn't take the step, that's okay too. My prayer is that you will realize and come to that place at some point in time and realize that Jesus Christ is good. He loves you, and He is going to help you. He can be with you. He can comfort you. He can bring peace where you can't find peace in this world. But it's okay. You can still do the step work. You can still go through and do the other things in this program and pick up the habits that you need. And I believe at some point God will convict you and maybe make that change. But it's okay. You can still go through the program without it. But I don't know how you can go through this process without Jesus in your life. And so how are you feeling at this point? Are you feeling like you've got some momentum? Things are getting better in your life? Or is nothing changing? Are others noticing, or is nobody noticing? And be honest, right? Are you being bombarded with temptations? Are you being bombarded in cravings? These are typical things. Depends on the extent and the depth of your addiction. And I understand. I went through so many programs, like I'm sure many, if not most of you. That's why you're here. And even when I thought I was all in and I was doing things, I would give in to those cravings, to those temptations, and go back and start over again. So I understand. But I'm believing this is the last time you're going to go through any program again, and you're going to become who God created you to be in the end of this 90 days. So are others noticing any difference? I'd want to know. I mean, I would hope 6 weeks in, people have seen a difference, and where they're able to say, "Hey, I'm proud of you," or "I can see you're really working at this time," or something good there. But it should be some positive feedback, and I believe that's going on for some of you. And again, if you have questions or you have things you want to say to me, you can email me at radicalrecovery.com, and I do respond. So a couple other things with this checkpoint. Your future self. I'll go back to the future self. In our first step, there was some mindfulness techniques, gratitude journaling. Are you doing the gratitude journaling? The manifestation tools. Did you create yourself a vision board? I mean, these are things you should have done. Those were in the first step. In the reflection, which was the R reflection for the future self, the mindfulness techniques of your daily reflection meditation. Are you doing some of that? And you don't need to do all these every day, but you should have picked up some of these tools, and you should be using one of them or some of them every single day. This 90-day journey, this 90-day process, man, you have got to be all in. You can't be skipping days. And so you need to use the tools. The O under your future self, the technique of the breathing exercises, the manifestation tool, manifesting your goals into reality. Are you doing that? Did you set the goals? These are things, and you just need to be honest with yourself, because this will be like any other program. If you're not all in and you're not honest with yourself, if you're doing this program to please somebody else or please a parole officer or somebody, you're doing this just out of legal concerns, it's probably going to come out like any other program that you've gone through. And lastly, I'll talk about the do's. So you have the P and the do's. The first three things I asked that I mentioned you should do after the very first step. And the P was look for an accountability person, get a journal, and get a Bible. Did you do those 3 things? And if you did, I commend you. Awesome. The under the R, 2 weeks later, the second step, make a list of your triggers. Share your list with your accountability partner. Let somebody know what you're up to. Goal setting. Set one visual goal. Did you do that? The temptation and toolbox, I called the TNT, that technique. When temptations arise, did you shock that out of your system? And did you flee from that situation so that you didn't go back when you normally would? And the O, the do's under the letter O. Seek God first thing in the morning. Every morning. Are you doing that? Are you seeking Him? He's got so much to offer. He's the all-knowing. He knows everything you've done. He knows everything you are going to do. So my recommendation is get to know God. Get to know Jesus. Dying to yourself. Are you dying to yourself? Are you saying no to the things that you would usually say yes to? Are you taking yourself out of the picture and living life for others? Self-development books. This is one of the most important. This is another very important thing. Have you purchased some books, or have you purchased a plan with Audible so you're listening to books? You should be into some books right now. If you're out there and you've got some books, and I'd love to hear what you guys are reading, what you're doing. Please email me, message me. I'd love to hear how you're doing. And don't miss anything. Another great one. Are you going to the events for your family, your children, your grandchildren? Are you doing the things that you know you were missing, you were skipping out on when you were in addiction? Don't miss anything. Things for your family, your husband, your wife, boyfriend, your girlfriend. Are you doing the things that you know they would want you to do? Are you going to the events you know that they would want you to be at? So this is just a checkpoint. I wanted to see where you're at. I want you to pause and think about these things that I just talked about. And there'll be another checkpoint down the road, but I think it's so critical that you just know where you're at along the journey. Because if you're off track and you're not close, maybe you need to start right over. Start at the beginning. Or not do it, because you got to be all in. You know what I'm saying? I know it to be true. It's really what brought me to a good, clean life. It brought me to writing and building this recovery program. And you can't do these things. You can't have that real good life unless you're all in. It's once again, I use the caterpillar and the butterfly, right? The butterfly, when the butterfly is out, the caterpillar's 100% gone. There's no, 2% of the caterpillar still there. No. The beauty of the butterfly needs to be all in, and the butterfly is all in. So I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, and we're going to start the letter C, and we're on like the 43rd or 45th day of the program. Congratulations if you're still hanging in there, and I believe that you are, because you've invested in yourself and you believe in yourself, and I believe in you too. So congratulations, and I will see you in the next video, and to God be the glory.